Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about weekly work presentations. Present or master shimasho. This is the 7th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de okane o muda ni suru no wa yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1. Clear, 2. Confident, 3. Persuasive, and 4. Highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcasts hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Touches in no Oshie show. Wednesday, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 325, and we are talking today about why we need to apply more professionalism to weekly work presentations. As business people, we don't get that many chances to face a public audience give an actual talk. The majority of the time, we are giving internal weekly reports on projects or revenues. We feel constrained to deliver in the same way everyone else is delivering. Monotone, lifeless, dull accounting of the progress or non-progress of our section. We fear if we start ramping up, we'll be disparaged as an idiot. So we keep the lid on what we are doing. Going full Hamlet on the project update will certainly draw some negative criticism from our bosses, who will quickly tell us to stop clowning around and get back to the usual methodology. Are we doomed to stay in first gear as presenters for eternity? Probably. Work reporting has a certain format and level of expectation, which is it should be humdrum and ordinary, not melodramatic or dynamic. What can we do, though, within that frame to work on our skills? Firstly, we need to reset our habits. We need to develop a work rhythm presentation which won't get us called into the boss's office for a dressing down, but which also allows us to work on some of the basic skills. Planning the report needs a makeover. Usually, the planning component is pretty marginal. Instead, let's think about what is the key insight from the numbers or the project progress or lack thereof. What is the message we want to convey? Once we determine that, then we start to build a framework for the delivery. Usually we are one of a number of people presenting, and the rest of the troops are doing a sterling job to put everyone to sleep with their efforts. That means we need to plan our opening of our report in a way which will grab attention, but without being too over the top. We start with the equivalent of, "The sky is falling." That will get flagged immediately by the boss as negativity, seeding panic, and will warrant a powerful scolding about our negative impact on the team spirit. So we're looking for a start which is less powerful but powerful enough. For example, we could say, we had some surprises this week. Those surprises could be positive or negative, but that simple statement would get everyone wondering, oh yeah? What surprises? And we will have achieved our aim to grab everyone's attention. We are basically practicing the dark art of creating newspaper headlines. The start should be short, sharp, and attention-grabbing. We're trying to work a pattern interrupt into our headline to break through the mental barriers in the room. When we get to the main report, it is a good idea to frame the key points. We could say, we had some surprises this week. Let me go through the 3 things which were unexpected. Now we have set up a simple navigation process to allow our audience to follow our report. We could have said, we had some surprises this week. I will go through the macro and micro factors behind these. Now we have framed 2 chapters of the report, making it easy to follow. Another approach could be using time. We had some surprises this week. Let me go through the lead up, where we are now, and what we can expect next. We can now cover the past, the present, and the future in 3 chapters, and this is simple to follow. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. On the 3rd of February, on the 13th of February, and then again on the 25th of February, we'll be holding our Dale Carnegie course, Effective Communications and Human Relations, which is our flagship program. Only we have it. It's very unique. We look at leadership, communication skills, human relations skills, stress management skills, which are all critical drivers of business performance. Plus, it also has an element of helping us to escape from the gravitational pull of doing the same old thing every time and not really challenging ourselves to enlarge our comfort zone to take on more work, bigger work, more complex work. Very good program for changing mindset, and particularly good for people who are technically smart but really not so great with dealing with other people. It really fixes that problem very nicely. On the 6th of February, we're doing our high impact presentations course. That'll be actually 6th and 7th. That's over 2 days for the main modules. Very nice program. This is how you become a powerful and effective communicator. This is how you become persuasive in this program. On the 13th of February, we're doing our Leadership Training for Managers program. Most leaders in Japan are not trained at all. At all. So there's bound to be gaps, bound to be holes in their professional skill set. This is the program which will fill in the gaps and plug those holes. Brilliant program for that. On the 14th, we'll be doing our Winning with Relationships selling program. If you think about it, relationships, everything in sales, unless you're doing a transactional business where you never meet the client again. But for most of us in B2B sales and even B2C sales, we're looking for ongoing business. We're looking for the reorder. We're not looking for just one sale. So the relationship, the trust, the belief, the credibility, all critical. And the techniques of, really understanding the client, how to present the solution, how to deal with pushback, how to deal with hesitation, how to deal with objections, how to ask for the order in a way that doesn't come across as sleazy or pushy. These are the basics of sales. And this is a very well put together program which covers every aspect of the sales cycle and focuses on building that relationship between you and the buyer to make sure you become the trusted advisor for the client. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. greg.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching video, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Welcome back. Our final message needs to be clear. It may just be a simple summary of the key points, a call to action, a recommendation, a warning, or a rallying call for support from other teams. Our report may only be 5 to 10 minutes long, but it gives enough scope to apply these frames to the talk and mimics exactly what we do in a 40-minute public speech. We get to apply the formula we need, even if it's only on a smaller scale. We need to be using our voice to highlight key words and phrases, our gestures to accent data or insights, and our eye power to connect with everyone in the room. There is no reason why we shouldn't be doing this every time, because this is what makes for effective communication. If we do draw some negative comments, take a long, hard look at the perpetrator. Are they skilled in communication and presenting? If they aren't, just ignore them. What if it's the boss? We should always keep a professional tone, no going over the top, but keep going, because often the boss cannot present to save their own life and are no model for us. Just tell them you're taking these weekly reporting opportunities to develop your communication abilities. If you are not leeching into thespian antics, then there should be no basis to be reining you in. Another area where we can excel is in using our slide information. I say this because everyone else will be making all the usual mistakes of cramming everything onto one slide, having too many fonts and too much data which simply cannot be read. If we're using spreadsheets, then distributing copies to everyone beforehand is a better idea than putting up columns of numbers no one can understand. If we are paperless, we can still show the spreadsheet. Usually there are only a few numbers to highlight, so we should concentrate on those. The spreadsheet becomes wallpaper, and we use animated pop-ups to highlight a specific number in very large font. We can then talk to that number. We keep repeating this process for the specific numbers we need to talk about, and there usually aren't too many of those in a short report. Graphs are a good way to show numbers. We need to recall the golden rule of a slide has to be fully understood within 2 seconds of it going up. The key is to avoid having more than one graph per slide if possible, or a maximum of 2 slides if a comparison is required. Line graphs are good to show trends, and pie charts are great to show proportions. Try to keep the animation to a minimum because it just distracts from the key message. Our thinking changes to, I'm giving a 5-minute or 10-minute segment of a 40-minute speech, and I will prepare accordingly. This way, our frame of reference is always the full professional presentation rather than the sad excuse which most people deliver. In this way, we're able to practice our skills within the realm of weekly reporting reality. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.